Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot on my mad Saturday morning churning out readings before I go away. I have explained it and over explained it in previous readings that I've done this morning, so I'm not going to explain it again. I'm going to dive right in to the reading with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. I'm going to read on a story. I'm reading on Harry and Meghan and their children today because there's so many stories out there about them at the moment, and they all kind of go together somehow in a strange way. So this story showed up in Radar Online in the last day or so. Radar Online, a very dubious source when it comes to royal stories, but it's an interesting possible, I'm speculating, mouthpiece of Montecito. So we do take notice of what Radar Online says, not because we necessarily believe it here at Mad World Tarot. I don't know why I'm talking about the royal we here, me at Mad World Tarot, but because it gives a bit of an insight, in my opinion, into the mindset in Montecito. So this story goes that Catherine is begging Harry to please bring his children back to the UK so that the cousins can bond. The opening line reads, Kate Middleton is desperate for Prince Harry to let her kids and his children have a relationship. Now, apart from the actual story, it's very interesting that she is described as Kate Middleton and her children are described as her kids, and the has-been is described as Prince Harry and his kids are described as his children. So I wonder who wrote the copy for this piece and emailed it off to Radar Online. We're going to ask that question in this little reading. But it goes on to say that she's devastated, Kate as they call her throughout this little silly little puff piece. She's devastated over Harry's refusal to bring his children back to the UK and is begging him not to keep her niece and nephew away from her or their cousins, and that she's pleading, she's sending messages to him, pleading for him to have a rethink and reconnect and bring the children to the UK so all of this bonding can happen. It's quite nauseating guff. Reading on this story now with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, we're going to ask the state of the Harry and Catherine, Princess of Wales relationship from her point of view. What's going on there? What does she think of him? Is she really sort of in contact with him? Her feelings about this. Is she really trying to reach out and trying to persuade him, pleading and begging with him to change his mind and bring the children over? I'm sure she's devastated and broken-hearted over the lack of a connection with his children. But is she really doing this? How does he feel about this situation? Is he desperate to have his children form a relationship with his UK cousins? Who is behind this rather implausible story, in my opinion, implausible story? Who is behind it and why? And then are the cousins ever going to reconcile? I'm not putting a time frame on it, just asking way out in the future. It could be in 6 months' time. Maybe if Archie, say, was to go to school in the UK, it could be in 60 years' time. Who knows? So we're going to ask all these questions. We are going to, I need to shuffle one more time. Sorry about this. We are going to remind you that this is tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion and all speculation, and we read on the energy around these wild stories that appear mysteriously in places like Radar Online. And we are going to remind you, the royal we here at Mad World Tarot, that there is a disclaimer in the box below, and please read it and do your own research and form your own opinions about this and all the stories that I read on this channel. So there it is, the reading and the underlying energy. Ooh, the card of hope and optimism and healing. The Star card, that's interesting. Desperate need for healing. And it gives Montecito energy, but it also gives Adelaide Cottage. I had to reach in there for that, the name Adelaide Cottage. I hope I'm right. It gives that energy too because of her illness that she has been through. So my suspicion, and we'll see how the cards actually read, but my suspicion in this context is that possibly a little birdie told another little birdie that she's very sad about the way things are, especially given her situation and the illness that she's been through and what her family has been through. And it would be so lovely to have the has-been situation resolved. It would be, but not, I'm dreaming of it and begging. That's the kind of energy that's coming through for me. A tiny little thought, maybe a throwaway comment that has been picked up and extrapolated into a giant story on Radar Online. It's just coming through like that because the star is the card of healing. And it's giving that energy of having been through the valley of the shadow and coming out the other side and viewing the world very differently. I don't think the Parkles are capable of that level of awareness or soul sort of revelation or spirituality or anything like that. I don't get it at all. But they might want to reconcile for their more materialistic purposes. That's just me and my somewhat negative opinion of them having read tarot cards on them for the past almost 4 years. Mind-boggling in itself. Situation, we are dealing with a breakup card, and of course this is the fallout between the Parkles and the Prince and Princess of Wales, and also between Catherine and her brother-in-law Harry. They were once best of buddies. She was the sister that he'd never had, and they were always giggling. They really seemed to get on very genuinely when they were younger, before little Miss Markle came and sat down beside them and ruined everything, in my opinion, and many other people's. So there it is. The two people who were very close, who really connected, really got each other at some level, and cared about each other. Two of Cups doesn't have to be a romantic kind of a situation at all. It can be friends, it can be family, it can be business, it can be colleagues, it can be pets, it can be anything. And there it is, the relationship that is broken. So let's look from the Princess of Wales' point of view and see how she feels about Harry now. What's the level of her relationship with him, what she wants out of the situation. Oh dear, we get a terrible card. We get the 10 of Wands. She's really distressed about the way things are. This is not we chat every day and we send jokes on WhatsApp and ha 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 and any of that. It's not that kind of a relationship. This is a sad thing. This is something that really troubles her, that she feels the weight of, that is unresolved. It's the 10, so it's the end. She doesn't see a way back from this 10 of Wands. When you're in 10 of Wands energy, you're at that final critical moment where you can't carry this burden anymore and you just give up. You don't try and reconcile. You don't start phoning or emailing or getting your people to contact their people to say, oh, please bring the kids back or the children back, because, this is a very, very sad card. So, let's investigate the energy around this begging and pleading. Those words were used in this article, begging and pleading for Harry to reconsider and to please bring his children mind to because she's so devastated about what's going on. I'm sure she is devastated, as I said, but is she really begging and pleading? I don't get that begging and pleading energy in the 10 of Pentacles, not at all. I do get that she would like, because she's very family oriented and she was brought up in a family that is very family oriented. I do get that she would like the family to all be under one roof, not literally, but metaphorically, all together, all the generations, all in the same place that they once were, that they could all be on that balcony, they could all pile onto that balcony together and enjoy that kind of connectedness And like those photos that we always got from Balmoral with the late Queen, with the children and the grandchildren, well, not the children, the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren around her. She wants that. But there is not even a whisper in that Ten of Pentacles of begging and pleading. Nothing. There is a vision of it, how it once was, and how lovely it was, and how lovely it would be if this were somehow to change. She's not the one that's going to do the work to change this. Never, never, ever, ever. Not with these two tens of done, finished, I accept the situation the way it is, I can't fix this. That's how it's reading for me, my opinion, and that's despite this star card underlying all of this. Part of healing is letting go. And I wouldn't have said that without that showing up and that showing up, but that is really coming through very strongly. It's almost as if she has had some counseling, and I wouldn't be surprised at all, given what she has been through and the family has been through, that she's had those kinds of conversations with someone. My opinion, of course. So let's look at the has-been. And is the has-been the one that really is doing the begging and pleading and would like this to happen? Let's see. Let's just check his energy in this reading. I would tend to say yes, because the world is a successful accomplishment of something. You've achieved a goal. You've done what you wanted to do. It's the good outcome, the world. And the world is travel. The world is very inclusive, because even though you're going out into the world, you're embracing all of the world. So I think that this, for him, is something that would be the ideal outcome. Again, I'm not getting begging and pleading, but I am getting that this would be a desired outcome for him. Interesting, these two kind of go together, but we need an intermediary, or we need a shift from one of them to make this happen. So, source of this little story in Radar Online. Why has this now come to our notice and our attention? Page of Pentacles. That gives me minion energy. It gives me, pages are communications. This is, I would say paid to put this little puff piece in, because it's a pentacle is held aloft. There's a payment. There's something contractual about this, that someone has been contracted to write this story. And for sure that's not the palace sending an email to Radar Online and saying, oi, one of your jobbing, hacks for hire, could they please write this under their byline and stick it in Radar Online? Definitely not. This is giving me more communications team from afar that's sending this in. So it's got third party energy. It's not giving me direct traceable connection with Montecito and Mudslide Mansion, but it's giving me as kind of agency energy, which is kind of weird, but there it is. So I think someone was paid to do this, or to plant this story, or to put forward this narrative. It's always about the money, isn't it? It's not a Page of Cups, put it that way, which would have read so much better for me as an energy reader. So let's move on to future, indefinite future. Chances of cousins ever connecting, ever spending time together, ever getting to know each other like other cousins do in the royal family. Chances of that. Nope. Empress in reverse. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And why nope? Because of mother. Because of mother. Empress in reverse is a very cold, unfeeling energy. It's very toxic. It's toxic femininity. It's being cruel. It's being materialistic. Upright, she's generous and loving and warm. And she would embrace everyone. but in reverse, being difficult, being selective, undermining, that kind of energy. And you can pick your person who might express that energy. I know who I think that person is, and I know who I think that person is. Just my opinion, of course. That's the reading. It doesn't look like this reconciliation is going to happen while that energy of Empress in reverse is around, and it doesn't look like it's something that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is actively trying to make happen at all, in my opinion.